Waymakers, it's me, Mommy Suna.
Oh no!
I told you we'd be back. I told you! Listen, I was not trying to take a 4-week break from anti-MLM meme and makeup Mondays. It just happened that way. I kind of shortly explained to you what was going on in my life in my last video. I'm trying to get like a backlog going before I go because we're going on vacation this week. We leave on Wednesday to go to Washington to visit some family, and we're gonna be gone for a freaking week, so I'm like, gotta get the backlog going. But no, you guys will be seeing this and I'll still be in the good old AZ. But hey, before we get into it, guys, make sure you like and comment on this video to help the algorithm, because you know, I've been slacking on the uploads, like I mentioned, you know, there's stuff going on in my life, and now the algorithm's like, Savannah who? It is my own fault. It's absolutely not your guys' fault, but yo, I appreciate it when you do it. And make sure you're subscribed to this channel if you want to be. YouTube unsubscribes people from me all the time, and that's a really funny joke that YouTube does. But let's see what's going on the subreddit this week. Oh my god, should we do this past month? I think we should. I've been really missing out, so this should be a good one, guys. So the top post this month, bringing it back old school. This is how I used to do it. I used to do this once a month, minus the makeup. Anyway, the top post this month is an MLM meme, and it's just titled Prizes for Everyone. MLMs are just the grown-up versions of those fundraisers in elementary school, where if you sold $500 of stuff to your neighbors, you'd get like a Frisbee or something, and you thought that was the most reasonable deal ever. Dude, true though. I think it was Sven Johnson, Gus Johnson's brother, who made a video about how like scammy and weird and sketchy those old fundraisers were. Although nowadays, let's be honest, we just got every Karen in the world trying to do a school fundraiser for Scentsy. It's being like, oh yeah, if you guys all buy all this Scentsy, I'll donate 10% of the profits to the school. And it's like, you're keeping some of that. It's benefiting you. Just give all your profits to the school. What are you doing, Karen? What are you talking about, Savannah? That's totally not happening. No, it's happening. We've seen it before many times, especially on this particular program. There's almost something to be said about like the deal, if you want to call it that MLMs provide to its participants are just like so, I guess, negligible. It's like the opposite of a deal. You're just literally making the 1% rich at the top of the pyramid, so you're really not getting a deal at all. And that's kind of how those fundraisers work too. The fact that there's that kind of correlation to be drawn kind of in a roundabout way compares multi-level marketers to children, and they're not even that far off. Yeah, it just like goes back to the whole naivety thing. Like, you don't have to be a child to be naive, clearly. Anyway, yeah, those fundraisers are a joke, man. At this point, we all should just be cutting a check to our kids' school if we want to help them, you know? Ooh, Young Living. MLM shilling therapist got back to me. Ooh. Hello, I must cancel my appointment. I visited your website and read that your counseling center is promoting Young Living, an MLM that is currently involved in one class action lawsuit for failing to provide evidence to support its health claims, and another class action lawsuit for being a pyramid scheme. Not to mention, it's unethical to promote one side hustle to vulnerable people. Thank you anyway.
We wish you the very best in your pursuit of counseling, which you are in very obvious deep need of.
Please tell me this isn't real. Oh my god, please tell me this isn't real. Are you no. No. This, okay. Y'all ever get like so angry, or I don't even know, would you call it triggered? Sure, I don't know. Just that like you have a pain in your chest. Cause that's me after reading this. Drop the name of the therapist, bro. Get their fucking license taken away. Are you serious? You're obviously in desperate need of this if you don't want to come to my office in which I try to shill my shit to vulnerable people. Does this person even have a license? Maybe they don't. Oh my god. Person who posted this, hey, person who posted this, please tell me you didn't just leave it at this. We need to go read the I'm like freaking out. I'm that upset. Someone in that line of work who is supposed to help people who are in need of actual attention to their mental health. Okay, they did post a comment in here. Someone was saying, I'd be plastering this everywhere, Google review, state licensing board, blah, blah, blah. The OP said, if I post a Google review, could she reveal what I wrote in my intake paperwork about why I want to go to therapy? I don't know if HIPAA would apply in this situation since I never had a session with her. Edit, I actually forgot to attach my intake paperwork in a previous email, so this email about how badly I need therapy just comes from my pointing out that they're being unethical, not why I was seeking therapy. So it's literally just about the MLM, the Young Living here. That's literally what that response. had nothing to do with anything in this person's personal life. No reason why this person decided they wanted to seek out help. Do you know how hard it is for somebody who has mental health issues for them to, first of all, admit that to themselves? Because that's the first and most difficult thing to do, is to admit to yourself that you need help. A lot of people with mental health issues cannot do that because they don't recognize that they need help. They don't recognize how bad it is. So this person took that step and said, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna get some help for myself. This office seems like it can help me. To be met with this kind of disrespect, all because, you guys, MLMs, and we always say this, how they're a cult. I just have so many thoughts. If I really liked a product and someone said, you know, Savannah, I don't like that product, I don't care. Congratulations, great job. Like, people are different, whoop-de-doo. Some people like things that other people don't. I'm not gonna go off and tell them they need mental help for not liking the product that I like. No, this person took it a step further because they did this in their job, like in their place of work, working with vulnerable people who are just trying to get to a better place in their life. It's so disgusting. It's so disgusting. Maybe it's just because I haven't been on my medication because my insurance was being fucking stupid and I had to like call them about all this other shit. And now I'm finally should be getting my meds today, but it's been a few days since I've been able to take my SSRI. It's fine. But I feel like crying right now. Like, I literally, like, this is so upsetting because I feel for this person. I know how hard it is. Like, I know we're only on the second post and I've just been stun locked on this, but like, listen, like when I first got on my antidepressants, I took it so seriously. I had to like sit people down in my life and tell them like, I've decided to start taking antidepressants. And it's because I was not raised in a place where those things were normalized. So I literally thought like it was hard for me to admit to anyone that I was taking antidepressants because I was raised in a family where it's like, oh, are you sad? Just pray, you know, just talk to Jesus or whatever. It's not. I don't even need to get into that shit. I knew I needed help and people around me knew I needed help, so I finally got the help I needed. But it was really hard to tell my family and even like aunts and uncles and stuff and like people I was close to. Like I literally had to sit them down and tell them this stuff because I thought that they were going to think that there was something wrong with me. So I don't know, maybe I'm just upset because of my personal experience with this whole thing. But needing mental help, it's really hard for a lot of people to admit. And you are doing no favors as a professional in the field to treat somebody like this who is literally just reaching out for help. For the love of God, I hope that this person has taken this to the right authorities because yeah, like, I don't know if it's HIPAA. Is it OSHA? No, not OSHA. I don't know. Maybe it is HIPAA. Yeah, even if you haven't had a session with her, she couldn't go and like slander your name. Not without losing her license anyway. Sorry, I'm saying she, like I'm assuming it was a woman, but anyway, whoever this therapist is. Yeah, no, they can't do that. I really, really hope that this person found the help that they needed. I'm just so upset. I'm just so upset. Yeah, there's a lot of comments on here about HIPAA violations and stuff. But then, like, you know how I was saying at the beginning of this, I was like, God, I hope this is fake. You have to know that you can be reported to the state board and shit, right? You have to know that as a professional in this field if you act so unprofessionally. So that's why I'm like, is this fake? Because what professional would do this? Then on the flip side of that coin there, the Huns don't always act on behalf of logic and knowledge. I haven't personally like had an interaction with a therapist in this way. I can't relate, but I can certainly sympathize. Yeah, it's just upsetting. Anyway, it works. Saved a single mother from MLM debt. I was nervous about reaching out to her over this because I know the reaction could have been hostile, but in the end, I'm so glad I did. Okay, I like stories like this because we know it's gonna end well. Hey, I saw you joined It Works. You should know that it's an MLM company that often preys on vulnerable women and single mothers with the promise of making money, but in reality, 99% of people in MLMs lose money and friends due to the pressure to buy back stock and pester your friends and family to buy from you. The market is oversaturated in the MLM world, so making sales is very unlikely. Make sure you keep track of what you spend on buying back stock and product versus what you make. Best wishes.
What? They made it seem like I'll make full-time income with barely working.
They do that, yeah. An MLM is a pyramid scheme that promises you things that are too good to be true. I can send you some evidence and testimonies. You make most of your money by building a downline because any money your downline makes, you get a percentage of. Here's some videos from creators I trust. Just don't want to see you lose any money.
I just googled some articles and I've been reading them, which is why I haven't responded. I'm honestly baffled.
Yeah, MLMs are something I've learned a lot about, and when I see my friends join them, I get worried because I don't want to see people I care about lose money. I was worried to reach out because sometimes I get angry reactions from people I tell.
I just canceled my subscription. I'm hoping to get my money back. And I'm not mad at all. Thank you for reaching out, honestly.
You're welcome, I'm glad I could help. Remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Oh, bless this person's heart. Bless both of these people's hearts. Listen, we have this knowledge. We know what MLMs can and have done to people. We've heard all their stories. You know, we've seen the income disclosure statements too. And having this knowledge, it seems like something we'd want to be telling people about and shouting from the rooftops, which is why there's an anti-MLM community and why we are very vocal, because of people like this who, you know, despite how big the community has grown and how much work we do to try to prevent people from joining these kind of companies, there's still people out there who still don't know what an MLM is and why they're a scam. And it sucks that we feel like almost scared to reach out to people to be like, hey, do you realize what you joined? Just because they just get so mad 99% of the time. And this person was like, wait, what? They told me I'd be making a full-time income. But they didn't argue it. They just like took the information and learned from it, which is unfortunately a reaction that we don't see very often when we try to tell people we care about, like, hey, MLMs aren't that great, please don't join them, you're in a cult, call your dad. But to me, and this sucks because like I've talked about it before, but like there's someone that I know personally that I grew up with who is a saint, hun, and I follow her on social media and she's always posting about this and that, and you know, we haven't been close since like middle school really, but like my families have kind of kept in touch and stuff, so it's just kind of like a weird relationship where I'm not like so close to this person that I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna get scammed, I need to warn them, like they're my best friend, I don't want to see this happen to them. Like, it's not that kind of relationship, but I haven't reached out to her about the saint shit at all because first of all, I don't feel like I'm that close to her, but it shouldn't matter, right? So many people watch my videos every single day and I don't know any of those people, so it's like I'm willing to help people I don't know all the time. So why is it that it's someone who I know kinda but not really? Why am I so afraid to reach out? Even as someone who does this for a living, sometimes I'm afraid to reach out to people I know. Why is that? I mean, there's certainly psychology behind it, right? Or maybe it's just because when you have the knowledge that this person bestowed upon this other person, we know that MLMs often destroy relationships. So I feel like with this person that I know personally in my life, if I reached out to them, having not talked to them in years on a personal level really, if I reached out to them and said, hey, did you know that this is essentially a pyramid scheme? I can't explain it. I cannot explain it because while we don't have like a super close relationship or anything, I still care enough about the person to not ruin that relationship, and I think I'm just like, it's most likely that they'll get mad at me and just never talk to me again. And that's like literally stopping me. But at the same time, okay, maybe on my end, maybe it's different because this person knows what I do. They follow me, they watch my Instagram stories. If they ever needed help, if they ever had any question about what I do, why I do it, any of that, like they could reach out to me and I would gladly walk them through that shit. No question. I think it's just like, I know that most of the time bringing, you know, unsolicited advice to people who are in MLMs who don't ask for it, and even like how we were talking about with like mental health and stuff, I mean, it's obviously they're two different things here. I mean, MLM involvement and mental health can have some inner workings between each other, but we're not talking about that right now. Anyway, it's like, yeah, maybe I'm looking at you and I'm recognizing that you need help, but anything I say is not going to do anything to help you until you recognize that you need help yourself. You know what I mean? I'm just convinced that like nothing I can say can pull them out of the MLM. And that's another thing I always say. I'm like, I don't make my content for people who are already in MLMs because I feel like they're already too far gone. Love you.
I love you too.
It's just a really weird dynamic. But that being said, no matter what the situation is, no matter who you are, where you're from, what you did, as long as you know, MLMs affect people's relationships with each other. Point blank. Again, I know that was also a stun lock, but I'm just like, there's just so much to like absorb and think about in things like this. Anyway, Mary Kay replied to a post asking people how they knew their relationship was over. Oh no. How are we gonna tie Mary Kay into this? Holy shit. We were being evicted from our home because after a few months of her being unemployed, asking with the few months of her attempting some get-rich-quick schemes, she wanted to just try moving into another apartment, but I knew we couldn't afford it. I knew we had to move back in with my parents. I sat her down and showed her her how much money I made on paper and divided it by how much rent, utilities, phone bill, etc. would be. It was easily more than what I made in a month, even ignoring, I'm assuming that's supposed to say food cost. I did the math on paper in front of her and she tells me, you don't even want to try. She'd been unemployed at home playing with her Mary Kay starter kit she got when she was trying to be her own boss and failed 2 courses of college trying to live off of student loans. Meanwhile, staying at home watching TV most days while I worked 2 jobs. But just having her there looking at a piece of paper and seeing that I couldn't support us both and her saying that didn't want to try, nah, it was over. Sorry, that was like a little hard to read, but I think we get the gist. What is that? What did I just say? Oh, MLMs affect people's relationships? But this is sad because like this girl clearly believes that she is going to somehow pull their little family, little relationship out of the shit they're in right now with Mary Kay or any other MLM. Unwilling to actually go get a real job in order to keep their relationship afloat, but also just be able to keep their lives afloat and have a roof over their head and not be swimming in debt all the time. And she's too blinded by financial freedom, I guess, or well, lack thereof, but like the idea that perhaps maybe one day she could achieve it. Yeah, that's literally what's going to destroy her relationship. And then what's she gonna do? Find another person to move in with while you just fart around and try to do Mary Kay? Like, that's gonna get old real quick. You know, people in your life aren't going to continue letting you freeload off of them so you can try to be a boss babe. I don't know, I just, but it's sad because I do feel like this person was probably really sipping the Kool-Aid hard. But unfortunately, like we've been talking about this whole video, this is another example of a person who, you know, you could say whatever you want to them. It could be the best information in the world. It could be the most logical, reasonable information in the world. And these people still don't want to hear it. So, you know, again, they need to find out for themselves that they need help. And then by all means, you know, reach out. But also just, you know, hope that you haven't completely cut everyone in your life off who was willing to help. MLMs ruin relationships. That's just how it goes. This one is a Thrive post. These posts always bring out the Huns. Oh god. What do you moms do as a side gig / hustle? Not pyramid schemes, please. Edit. MLMs.
I help people feel amazing, have the best bonuses of any MLM right now and feel better than I ever have. I thrive.
Girl, she legit said no MLM. Oh my god. And then she would say, it's not an MLM. Yes it is. Hey, Lavelle Thrive? Yeah, it's an MLM. Doesn't matter how many times you try to say, no, it's not an MLM. No, it's an MLM. It's still an MLM. Yeah, no matter how many times you say it. If I look at a duck and it's sitting there and quacking in my face and I say, that's not a duck, that's a turtle. I could look at that duck in its beady little eyes, tell it it's a turtle, and manifest that it's a turtle. And guess what? It will never be a turtle, it's still a duck. That was a weird analogy. You guys know what I'm trying to say. What's today's lesson here? Turtles are not ducks. Congratulations, we all learned something. Ooh, my Nate. Post that's been going around my Facebook. Her hair was so pretty, shake my head. I think we've seen this one before. Like, I don't think this is a new post. I think it's been going around for a long time, but we can go over it again because it's a pretty good one. I just want to share my results after trying Monat shampoo and conditioner. I always had very full and beautiful hair. This product destroyed my hair and I lost more than half of it. Please do your research before trying a product. There are several lawsuits against this company. Thousands of women suffer from hair loss and breakage and they call this the detox process. No product should ever make you lose your hair. Hashtag Monat before and after. Hashtag don't buy Monat. Hashtag Monat hair loss. Yeah, that's really sad. The breakage there is so obvious, like you cannot deny that. But I guarantee that the Huns have had a lot to say about this post. I mean, they've certainly seen it. You know the Monat Huns are just constantly looking at that Monat before and after hashtag. They've seen this. You know they've seen it. But this is how I know it's an old post, is because they're talking about the detox process and they're just not allowed to say that shit anymore. Not that they ever really listen to the Florida State Attorney General's case against them and all that shit. Not that they ever actually abide by any of that. I don't think they're even supposed to utter the word detox anymore. So that's why I'm like, yeah, this is an old post, because they used to say that all the time. But yeah, they can't anymore. Okay, let's do one more. This one's flair just says, louder for the Huns in the back. It really sucks that this needs to be said. My cancer diagnosis is not your in for your MLM pitch. Ugh. After hundreds of messages and voice memos, I'm fed up. My cancer journey is not available for you to attempt to use for your financial gain, period. I'm no longer going to be quiet about this. Stop the bullshit. Yes. Yes. Thank you very much. There really isn't much to be said about this, except that unfortunately, despite her making this post, let's be honest with ourselves. The Huns do not look at people's profiles before they message them an MLM pitch. 9 times out of 10, they don't do it. How many times have we seen a Hun DM someone who just got out of recovery for an ED and being like, do you want to lose 50 pounds in 3 days? Like, have you looked at my profile? Like, how many times have we seen that? Among other things. So unfortunately, you know, as powerful as that message is, oh yeah, it's not gonna help her at all. So anyway, I think we can thank my members and my patrons now. And if you want to be part of the list I'm about to read off, or the names that are about to scroll before your eyes, it's really the best way to support me, and you can do that by going to patreon.com/SavannahMarie, or you can click the join button beneath this video. Doesn't matter which one you do, just whatever platform you're most comfortable with. We have a private Discord server, we have a postcard club. I often give you guys access to videos early whenever I'm able to. If that sounds like something you'd want to be interested in and you want to be a part of, click the links down below. And now let's thank these people. So the biggest thank you in the whole wide world goes to Tiffany Brust, J. Marie, Auntie Lou, Vamp Faye, Fallon Lowry, Sabrina Franklin, Julia Nieberdowski, Alice W., Jerry Duncan, Samantha Jackson, Evan Adler, Laura Lynn Martin, Eve Blondo, Daniel Urena, April Lindblom, Tuesday the 13th, Amanda McMahon, E. Higgins, Erica Lauder-Craddock, Molly Wasilewski, Boris Geller, Meredith Nakata, Rachel McHenry, Kim Cartwright, Maddie Darley, Kelly Creffield, Katrina Rosemarick, and Elizabeth Wyatt. And to the rest of my wonderful patrons, thank you so much for being here and for being you. Thank you, even if you're not a patron, for making it to the end of this video. I appreciate you so very, very much. The algorithm appreciates you too. But yeah, I appreciate you guys so much. I will definitely have a video this Thursday. It's a good one. Hey, y'all buckle in for that. But I'm gonna hopefully have videos for you next week. I'm gonna do my best to get them done before I leave for vacation to visit family. Hopefully you guys won't notice much of a difference in the schedule while I'm gone. Hopefully, that's my goal. But obviously having 2 children can throw a wrench in those plans and any other plans I ever have ever. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, keep making waves, babes, and I will smell you all later. Mommy tsunami.